but one of the things that I think we do really, really well is we're going to get close to the S&P. We're going to beat the S&P at times. We're going to probably lag behind it at times. But what we really do is probably give you 20 to 30% less volatility in the markets. And I think that's one of the things that our clients appreciate about the way we invest money.
Audio Jungle.
Hello and welcome to Business Focus, produced by the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce. My name is Angela Inzerillo with Impact Business Solutions, and I'm privileged to be a host as we highlight the great work our local businesses are doing. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. If this is your first time, you've been living under a rock, so where have you been? So please make sure that you like and subscribe and share, because we're sharing so many great things happening in and around Reston and around Fairfax County, and we want to make you aware of it. So today we've got a lot to talk about. Mr. Wes Kabance with Toth Financial. He's a VP of Investment Strategy and Portfolio Manager, as well as a member of our board of directors. And I'm just going to give you the title of co-chair of our committee for golf, the golf event this year. Well, Wes, welcome.
Well, thank you for allowing me this platform to speak. So thank you.
Of course. I can't believe I haven't gotten you on the show sooner. So thank you for agreeing to this great opportunity. How about that?
Absolutely. It's a conversation. It's fun to come and speak. So thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, and we want to share with everybody a little about what you do, what's happening at Toth Financial, and then also, again, about our great golf event that's coming up here at the end of September. So we'll share all about that goodness going on. You've been a member of the board of directors now for a number of years. What is a little bit about your background? How did you get into Toth? Because you guys are out in Leesburg, and now you're prevalent here in the Reston area. So tell us kind of how you got there.
I'll give you a little background on myself. So I originally grew up in Pittsburgh, Kansas. I went to the University of Kansas, and I stumbled upon a company called American Century Investments. They were based out of Kansas City. I worked at American Century in various capacities and various jobs, but I worked there for 28 years. And so
wow.
In that, the last 10 to 12 years, I was a wholesaler that called on financial advisors, which is really what brought me from Kansas City out here to Northern Virginia. But I covered the state of Virginia and Maryland, and I called on financial advisors, helping them educate them on our products and services. At the tail end of that, I had a tragedy in my life. My wife had breast cancer, and unfortunately, she passed away, and I have 3 kids. I wanted to spend more time with my kids and go to their games. And that particular position really was somewhat of a traveling position. So I was gone 2 to 3 nights every other week. So I really wanted to get off the road. And so it was a really easy transition. And so I had already been calling on a lot of different financial advisory firms. And Toth Financial was a great client, and I already knew them very well. So that's what really brought me to Leesburg, Virginia. So.
Well, great. A Kansas boy.
Kansas boy.
You still like other teams, or have you got into the whole Commanders?
It's hard. Unfortunately, no, I've been a Chiefs. I was a season ticket holder for the Chiefs for 15 years. So unfortunately, the Commanders haven't really been that good of late, although last year they had a really great year.
Yeah, they did.
It'd be really hard for me to be a Ravens fan because we played against them so much, but Chiefs are in the other division. So I think I could become a Commanders fan if they put a better team on them.
I think if you're in the area, you can't help but love what Jaden's doing and the team growth and all the newness going around. Right. So, yeah. So anyway, all right. So great. You're Northern Virginia, and, talk a little about, the financial industry. I'm a big fan of financial advisors. I'm a big fan of getting that consulting. I mean, no offense, but we don't grow up in that world. So if you see it as an investment in yourself, that's kind of a benefit of working with someone like yourself in your organization. Who are the type of people that you deal with? Right? So who's your typical clientele that you kind of serve the best?
Yeah. And I'll start. I probably didn't answer this in the first question, but really Toth Financial is a group of about 18 individuals. There's 8 advisors, and the rest are kind of support staff that really help all of our service that we provide to all of our clients. But we roughly manage about $1.1 billion of assets under management. We have roughly 650 families. So we really specialize more with high net worth individuals. We do have some businesses, we do have some 401ks on the books, but that's not really our focus. Our focus has always been more to the high net worth individual. As far as the high net worth individual, though, goes, I mean, we're really providing, I always say all things financial, but what I really mean by that is, we provide investment management to them. So we're helping them invest the monies that they trust us to invest. At the same time, we also do financial planning. So if it's a younger couple and they're talking about, hey, here's what their goals are, you learn in this industry, you want to learn as much as you can about your client. It's really all about helping them. And it's really helping them reach the goals that they have set forth in that. And we're not magic people. And at the end of the day, we're gonna get a solid rate of return on the investments that we do. But I can't promise 15% or 20% for something. I mean, the reality is we're going to perform. I always think one of the things that I think we do really, really well is we're going to get close to the S&P. We're going to beat the S&P at times. We're going to probably lag behind it at times.
Sure.
But what we really do is probably give you 20 to 30% less volatility in the markets. Right. And I think that's one of the things that our clients appreciate about the way we invest money more so than anything else.
When they come to you, like, what is their typical challenge? Like if someone comes, it's not, it sounds easy, right? Oh, it's financial management, or take my money and invest it in over the long term. This is the type of return that I need to see to have the lifestyle that and the goals we've set for my family. So like, what do they come to you and what kind of are their biggest questions?
You're describing it right there. I mean, first of all, it could be a client that's 60 that has already gone through the accumulation phase. Or it could be a 35-year-old that is really, has a good opportunity, has a good job, and wants to put money into that. So those are two different conversations. One is more of an income distribution type phase.
Right.
But a lot of my clients are probably between 60 and 80 or 60 and 90. And they're really not needing the money. They have pensions, they have Social Security. So we're really investing their money probably as much for their legacy and their kids than we are just for the income needs of that. But all those things, you're going to find out all kinds of information from your clients. And, if they have income needs, if they need $200,000 a year in income, then we're going to set a certain amount of it for fixed income versus equities. And so, we're going to really build their guidance of how much equities that we feel like is appropriate for them, how much fixed income, really try to set logical or reasonable goals, meaning that, the stock market is probably going to return somewhere between, say, 7 and 9%. Historically, maybe it might be 8. It's probably not over 10 for sure, but it's probably 6 to 9%, somewhere in there. The bond market on that side of it, yes, it's a lot less volatility.
Right.
The bond market is probably going to be between 4 and 6%. And, what's been interesting is the last 10 to 15 years, it hasn't been this way the last 2 or 3, but the last 10 to 10 years, we've had such low interest rates that people haven't got 4 to 6. They were getting 2 to 3% interest, rate of return. So really, if you needed a rate of return more than inflation, then you almost had to invest in the equities in order to get the rate of return that you're really needing. So having less volatility the way we invest is a godsend for everybody out there. We use a lot of individual companies, stocks, but I would argue that we use a little bit higher quality company than maybe what's in the S&P 500. So we're looking for companies that have extremely repeatable earnings and revenue cycles. And we also focus a lot on dividends. So we're looking for companies that are not only paying nice dividends, but we're also increasing those dividends over time. At Toth Financial, we are a team-based practice, meaning that it's not you kill what you eat. For us, we sit around a conference room every Friday And we talk about, we probably use 70, 80 different individual securities. We don't talk about all 80. We probably talk about, 10 to 15 of those. We also use different sectors. That could be healthcare, that could be technology,
Sure.
that could be energy, financials. And so we'll talk about all those various investments. And then we're basically reading off of all of the same sheet of music. So then when I go back and I'm working on my clients, I'm using that same information. And so then I'm just applying it when I'm doing an investment review directly. Then I'm using that for that given week.
How often are you doing reviews? Do you do them quarterly or annually?
Yeah, great question. So we do 4 client reviews per year. One of those is their annual review. So we'd like to see clients in our office. I have a little bit of an older client base, so I feel like I'm always traveling to see some of them, but we try to see them in person if we can. And then the other 3 can either be through Zoom or through written communication to say, hey, Angela, I just completed your quarter review. I made a few changes to your portfolio. I may have trimmed financials and added to, energy that, in this particular quarter, or we added a few additional individual securities to your portfolio. So I tried to give them a flavor of what kind of changes that we were making, in that communication.
Well, also things might have changed in your client's life, of course, right? Whether it be, oh, we just had another grandkid, or hey, we're moving, or hey, I want to, whatever, move to Portugal, sell my house and go
Right.
find another.
And believe me, as a financial advisor, I hate to say this, but you've heard it and probably seen it all. I mean,
Sure.
It's really good. And we work with a lot of unbelievably rewarding clients. So we try to overwhelm them with our service model. Probably, every financial advisor, says things like that. But we try to deliver a high level service at all times to clients and the communications that we give to them. So if they need something, we want to be there. And, we don't ask them to fill out applications. We fill out the applications and then we have them sign it. Now, luckily, there's a lot of things electronically these days, but we're trying to help people at every step of the way.
And I think, you say it perfectly, like, you take care of your clients. And as much as we all love the holiday party, which I've been to your guys' holiday party, lots of fun, or a wine tasting or a golf weekend or something. So it's nice to be able to appreciate not just prospective clients, but also your existing clients. So, and I know you guys take pride in that. So
we truly do. And we give back. I mean, we probably give back to somewhere between 50 and 70 different organizations through various charitable means. So that's, in some ways, I would argue that's maybe a little bit of we don't do a lot of direct advertising. We're fortunate enough that we're very established. But we kind of continue ourselves and our work in the community through the various chambers, which we'll probably talk about here. But we're also doing it through various charities. And so we play in a lot of different golf tournaments. We support a lot of different just humanity type events as well throughout our community, probably more in Loudoun County than in Fairfax County. But really, anything that's important to our clients is important to us.
Yeah. And you make a good point. I was just going to ask you that too. So you have made your way to the Reston Chamber and you are one of our top sponsors. You are our signature sponsor, title sponsor for the golf event. So thank you for that. But yeah, I think you live in Fairfax County, right? So I know your office is in Loudoun, but you're a very active member within the Reston Chamber.
So our roots from a company have been more settled down with the Loudoun County Chamber. And mainly it's because the partners, really live in Loudoun County, and it was easy to be involved in the community. Right. But now that we've grown a little bit as a firm, there are several of us that are really living in Fairfax County, and it's just easier to be involved in the community that you're, closer to. So it is another way for us to branch out. It is another opportunity for us to meet new people. We don't turn down clients by any means, but we have we've been fortunate to have a good client base that we don't necessarily have to pick up every new
Right.
client along the way. We can kind of somewhat pick and choose. And really what we're trying to do is make sure that it's a good fit for our client. If it's a good
Right.
fit for us and it's a good fit for the client, it makes sense for us to work together. That's a win-win for everybody.
And you said something earlier about, kind of and I'm a big fan of this too, right? So if I have a service need, I'll usually go to the chamber's directory and try to work with somebody within the chamber, like a fellow chamber member. So if you're living out in Fairfax County, right, it makes sense to patronize those that are members or local to you. I mean, you even said it the other day. We're like, we need some dry cleaners in the chambers.
I completely agree. I mean, it's been really fun to be involved in the Reston Chamber, not only because I'm getting to meet all the board people, but all the people in the whole chamber. And what I found most of it, I've changed my dentist. I've used
So have
electrician.
I.
I've used an electrician. So these are all really good people, and I've met them at various networking events, or I've at different events that the rest of the chamber is actually putting on. So I think I always say too, and you've heard me say this before, but you really get out of it what you put into it. So if you join the chamber and you show up 2 or 3 times, you're probably not going to get to know everybody, and chances are it's going to feel more uncomfortable. But like we've all become really good, close friends because we see each other on a pretty regular basis. So I enjoy getting together with my chamber people.
We call them my chamber peeps. So yeah, it works out. It really works out well. I was going to let's jump into the Chamber Cup real quick before we go.
Sure.
So I know I gave you the title of co-chair. You're not. I don't want to upset Alex, but we're all. It's a small, mighty team. But I appreciate working with you on it. Members of the committee are out trying to get sponsorships and help with connections for the raffle prizes. So what are some of the logistics?
September 30th at Westfields Golf Club in Clifton. It's a spectacular golf course for if people that haven't played it before. It's a friendly couples course. We're playing, I think the start time is at 8 o'clock.
It is shotgun at 8.
So it'll be nice because we're going to get done earlier in the afternoon.
I know.
We'll have a nice lunch provided after. So I'm really excited to. In previous years, we've done this starting at 1 o'clock. And so you get done at 6 or 7 or 8 o'clock at night. I think actually the business community will actually enjoy this that much more.
I totally agree.
People want to get home to their families and their kids. So to be done at 2 or 3 in the afternoon will be a little bit easier than getting done later in the evening.
Yeah, so the luncheon, there's a breakfast, there's drinks on the course, there is a lot of practice time, typical tournament rules, captain's choice, closest to the pin, longest drive, all of those things. Although I am now on a team of 4, 2 women, 2 men, and I have a feeling that we might be up there this year. Not because of me, I'm not going to lie to you, but the leader of our Reston Community Center, Miss BB, will be leading the team.
Yeah.
Not that I won't contribute. Maybe I'll contribute a couple over the course of 18 holes. But anyway, yeah, like you said, a lot of fun, a lot of camaraderie, a great course. They take really good care of it.
We always put together a really good silent auction as well. So hopefully anybody listening to this is going to pick that up on that as well. I'm always amazed, honestly, that some of the foursomes that we get, from various clubs. I know we've done Belmont. I know we've done International. Sometimes we've done Trump. Creighton Farms has been involved in the past, but it's really nice because some of those you go for a lot of money. Some of those can be a steal for this. So for those golf,
great deal.
It's a great opportunity.
Yeah, there's a wine basket. So in addition to all these foursome, and guys, we'll have this, we'll scroll it up. You're going to check out the website and get the latest, of course, what those prizes are. So September 30th, shotgun start at 8 o'clock, Westfields Golf Club. It's going to be a perfect day, I hear.
Yep.
So
weather is guaranteed on that day.
Perfect. So Wes, thanks for being here. I'm going to scroll this up too. I want people to know how to get in touch with you guys.
Yeah, it's Toth Financial. It's www.tothfinancial.com. We're based out of Leesburg, Virginia. You'll probably put our information on the screen, but we are at 608 South King Street, Suite 300. And come visit us, or you can give us a call. Our line number is 703-443-8684. So we'll put the number.
That's perfect.
Information on the screen. So.
Well, we joked about this earlier, folks. Like, who remembers these phone numbers, right? So
Right.
Wes is kind of like looking down. Is that the right phone number? I can tell you the house I grew up in Oyster Bay, New York, what my phone number was, 922-516-922-1721. I can tell you my aunt's number. I don't even think I know James's phone number.
Yeah.
I had to call him.
It's pretty amazing that I totally remember my home number when I grew up, but I couldn't tell you
It's
what my
funny.
significant other's phone
It's
number
funny.
is. So it's just the world that we live in. The phones, all the social media. We don't look up numbers anymore. So
I know. We don't need to.
yeah, we don't need to.
There you go. The
Anyway,
world changes, as do we.
hey, thank you for having me. This has been wonderful.
Oh, good. My pleasure. I'm glad that you were able to join me, and I look forward to seeing you at the next chamber event, which will be soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, September 23rd.
There you go. Yeah,
Wellness fair.
we're doing the wellness fair. Look at you, good board
Yeah.
member. All right. Well, I'll definitely see you soon. Thanks, Wes.
All right. Take care.
And we look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Stay in touch with us for future episodes. Like, subscribe, and share. See you next time.